So it's no surprise that a lot of people are feeling pinched today with society, what's going on financially in the economy. Things are getting more and more difficult. And I think that things are going to continue to be on that trajectory for a while. And I thought, it might be a good time to talk about some old-fashioned, traditional Great Depression habits that really benefited individuals during the time of that Great Depression period. And it would be helpful for us to go ahead and incorporate into our lifestyles right now as well. These are things that we do, and I think it would be helpful for you as well. And I'd like to share them with you today. So the very first thing that I want to talk about is learning how to be a little bit more of a gray man. So during the Great Depression, people that struggled for a very long time, which was pretty much everyone, went without. And once things started to turn around, eventually, many years later, they didn't necessarily try to show that off. So if you had a little bit more money for food or for clothes, you weren't necessarily flashing that to other people. Instead, you pretty much just continued to lay low, because if there's a lot of people around you that are suffering lack, you can potentially make them jealous. You can cause some danger for your family. So you need to be mindful of, even though you are having a hard time and maybe you're starting to make a little bit more money or your finances change, being mindful that there's a lot of people around you that are struggling potentially still, and desperate people can do desperate things. So what it means is to not start trying to look more flashy. It's kind of like the millionaire next door, that he just looks like a normal person, drives a normal car, but realistically, this person can be very well off. So keeping that in mind, going into the coming hard times, make sure that, again, you're mindful of where you are, of what you're portraying, how you're living your life, because again, you don't know who's watching you, and a lot of people are going to be going through some very hard situations. So it's just a way to protect you and yours. The next habit right now that would be great for a lot of people to do is to take advantage of the fact that you can pretty much become an apprentice to anything right now because of the internet. So YouTube is an excellent resource that you can go on and learn different skills, different trades, because you have videos, you have guides that will walk you through step by step on pretty much anything that you want to learn. So this is a great opportunity right now that if something breaks down in your house or you're looking to learn a new skill, start educating yourself and watching videos, and try to do things safely yourself and learn new things while you can. Back in the day, a lot of things were only learned by book, or you need to see if there was somebody that would graciously allow you to learn from them. But with the resource right now of the internet, again, you can pretty much just learn anything. And if maybe it was difficult for some people to learn before by just reading comprehension, now you can be a visual learner. So it's just really a really great opportunity to learn different skills. There's all things that we can learn to do outdoors, indoors, in the kitchen, taking care of your cars, your vehicles, anything that you want to do, learning more about how to take care of our health. Our health is really, really important. I mean, just anything that you want to study, you can do that right now. So maybe sometimes instead of just filling our time with maybe a movie or just something like that, you can also just say, hey, I'm going to dedicate some time every week to learn that one skill that I've been wanting to learn for a long time, or to brush up on those skills if I haven't maybe done this or that in a very long time. These type of skills are only going to benefit you and your community, because when times get hard, we typically will have less money to afford certain things, meaning that the more handy we can become, the more capable we can be to resolve our own issues, the better off we're going to be. And you may even be able to provide some type of services to those around you and make some side money with that as well. The next habit that is really important to incorporate as well is learning to downsize. Downsize pretty much anything in life. So that can be your home, whether you are renting somewhere, or if you are looking to buy a home, or maybe you want to downsize to a smaller home. But by downsizing, for example, your home, your space, you are naturally going to be saving more money. The reason why is because, number one, it'll probably be cheaper to buy or to rent. Your utilities are going to be cheaper. The bigger the home, the more utilities are just going to cost you. The bigger the home, the more things in the home to break down and to repair, to fix. The bigger the home, the bigger the roof. I mean, it just goes on and on. Your property taxes are probably going to be higher. And you have so much additional cost when you upgrade where you are living. Even your insurance will drop, when your house is smaller, your place of residence. And again, only some of these things apply, depending if you're renting or if you're a homeowner. And that's just for your home. So you can downsize other areas of your life, right? So for example, if you go out to eat a lot, you can downsize your eating out budget, your entertainment budget, by reducing how many times you go out. Cooking inside your home is an excellent way to save money, because every time you go out, you spend so much. It kind of robs you if you really pay attention to it. And if you keep doing it over and over and over, you really see how much money is leaving your account all the time. When it comes to vehicles, can you buy a used vehicle? When it comes to clothing or other items for your house, can you look for a thrift store that maybe would have these items, or check Facebook Marketplace? Look for items that are already used, because a lot of times they are gently used and you don't have to pay the hefty price tag. So all these different areas where you can downsize in your life are just only going to benefit you. I really believe that there's always a way that we can cut costs in our life, that we can downsize. So I challenge you to find some areas, identify what those can be, and then to go ahead and do that, because it'll only help you out in the future. The next habit would be to stop buying all of your food just from a grocery store. We are very dependent on the supply chain, very dependent on all the grocery stores. Can you potentially learn how to start gardening? Can you plant something in your backyard? Can you sow some seeds? Can you maybe source food, some meat from a local butcher? Can you start going to your farmers markets and seeing what type of produce you can get there? Look for somebody in your local area that is raising their own chickens and they have eggs for sale or for trade. If you have something that you can trade, we have wonderful friends nearby that graciously supply us with goat's milk, and it's just a blessing. We get goat's milk and goat cheese. So don't wait until it's too late. Start to build your own local supply chains now while you can, and you're going to also enjoy knowing what's being put in your food, how your food is being grown. And I don't know about you, but that gives me a lot more reassurance and peace of mind as well, besides just going to a grocery store and seeing this food that you don't know what's being put in it, who's growing it, what they're doing to it. At least if you know your local farmers, you're going to have a lot more peace of mind. Okay, the next one is huge, and that is having an emergency fund. Everybody should have that. It doesn't matter where you start saving something, and then you slowly build up. A lot of people say, hey, reach for $1,000. That's kind of like the Dave Ramsey method. I'm sure you've heard of him before. And definitely do that. But if you can't reach $1,000, do what you can. You never know when something can come about, that you have an emergency, an unexpected medical bill, something goes on with your vehicle, you get just some other random bill in the mail, or you have a job loss, or just there's so many different things that can go wrong. You want to have money saved up, and the credit card is not having money saved up. You want to actually have liquid cash put aside, saved for a rainy day, for a time that you may need it, and you don't spend it when you just, I don't know, want to buy a new TV or something like that. It's an emergency fund, and that's what it should be for, and then continue to grow it over time. So I hope that's been helpful for you. I know these tips are really helpful for me and my family. If you have any tips that you would like to share as well, please go ahead and do so down below, because I would love to hear from you, and the community would as well. And until the next video, take care, friends.